Hello besties, welcome to part 2 of my tarot and oracle card collection. In this video I am going to be showing you part 1 of my oracle card collection. I already posted my tarot card collection, which I think you should definitely check out. So this video is actually going to be split up into 2 videos because I just had way too many oracle cards to try to fit into one video. So without further ado, I am going to show you my oracle card collection. So we are going to start out with the Moon deck. And this is by Erona Lee and illustrated by Andrea Kay. This was my first ever oracle deck. I believe I got this for Christmas in 2018. These are the backs of the cards. So as you can tell from the title of this oracle deck, these cards are all about the moon. Every single card has a moon on it as well as an affirmation at the bottom. So for example, we have this one that says, "Movement awakens my creative spirit." We have, "I shed habits that hinder my truth, I release and renew." Just like my first tarot deck, which was the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, this being my first oracle deck, I will probably never get rid of it. I really love the affirmations. We have one that says, "We are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another." This deck is very much female-centered and just really tapping into the divine feminine. Again, I really love the borderless cards, how the image is just the image and the affirmation, and there isn't like a border around the cards. The cards are a decent size, not too big, not too small. I have small hands and these are relatively easy for me to shuffle. Now we are moving on to in no particular order, like in which I received the cards. I just wanted to include this one first because it was my first deck, so now there really isn't a timeline as to when I got these cards. But anyways, these are the Essential Oil cards by Lisa Powers. This is like, there are so many cards in this deck, which I really like and appreciate. We do have some silver gilding, and this is a thick oracle deck. I'm not sure how many cards are in this, but it's a lot. These are the backs of the cards. And then every card has an essential oil, I guess like a keyword, a trigger statement, a truth statement, and some type of affirmation or message at the bottom. So definitely a lot of information in these cards, which I really like. Well, I guess not every card is like the name of an essential oil, but it can be like its purpose, what it's used for, etc. I've used these a little bit, but I definitely want to use them more. There's just so many. I feel like there's so many messages that could come from these cards. They are glossy, so very easy to shuffle. This would be a good way to learn different essential oils. I honestly feel like this would be a good oracle deck for a lot of people too. Just because it is jam-packed with so many cards and so much information, you could probably learn a lot from it. Next up is the Daily Crystal Aspiration Oracle deck by Heather Askinosi. This is my only crystal-based deck, so I really like it. It is used quite a bit by me. So these are the backs. We have a lot of different crystals and gemstones. As you can see, it is a glossy type of card, and each card has a crystal on it, the name of the crystal, and a affirmation or meaning or message at the bottom. I really like the simplicity of these cards, how it's just a white background with the crystal on it. I feel like that is very aesthetically pleasing. We have Unakite, Live in the Now. Angelite, Support is all around you. I really like using these cards, for example, if I'm like, what do I need to know? Like just point blank, or what do I need to know? And just shuffling these cards and pulling one. I feel like the message is always spot on. This is definitely a good way to learn crystals. I highly recommend this deck. Next up is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. These are the backs of the cards. A lot of blue, a lot of yellow. These are matte cards, so not glossy. These are pretty big, I would say bigger than the Moon deck cards. A little bit more complicated to hold and handle for me. So every card has an image of an animal, a number at the top, the name of the animal, and a message or affirmation at the bottom. So for example, we have number 33, the horse spirit, freedom is yours. Borderless again, which y'all know I love. See, this is cute. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Definitely a good animal deck. Here we have the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. These are the backs of the cards. Lots of pastel blues and pinks, and they are matte. So every card has an image with an overall, like, overarching theme and then a bit more information at the bottom. So here we have big picture thinking, Pleiades, I'm not sure how to say that, energy, visionary, inspired ideas. I really like the blue and pink vibe of these cards. I feel like this would go well with the Pastel Journey Tarot by Vanessa Samina, which I do have in my tarot collection and I put in my tarot collection video. Something that just popped into my mind as a use for these cards would be, say you do a tarot reading, these would be good clarifiers. So let's say you pull the Nine of Swords and you're like, okay, can I get some more clarification on the Nine of Swords, and you shuffle these and you pull one. That could probably be a good use for these cards, to be used as some clarifiers. I feel like this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. We have what looks like Earth. It could be Earth, it could be a different planet, just in the vastness of space. And it says, perspective, none of this matters, zoom out, common ground. Moving along, we have the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards by Kyle Gray with artwork by Lily Moses. So these are the backs of the cards. They are glossy. We have this yellow with this blue in the middle. Looking at like the guidebook and the box, you would think that the backs of the cards would be pinky, purpley, blue, but I mean, I don't mind the backs of these cards. I think they're cute. So this is what the cards look like. So every card has a Keeper of the Light on it, and then the name, probably like an overarching theme, I would say, and then a bit more explanation. So for example, we have Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace, share your gifts with grace, waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. I've used these cards quite a few times, but I definitely want to use them more. Next up is the Star Codes Astro Oracle by Heather Roan Robbins with artwork by Lucas Lua de Souza. I feel like everyone should have some type of astrology deck in their collection. And if I'm not mistaken, I was influenced to buy this by Vanessa Samina. So these are the backs of the cards. So we have Neptune, Vision. We have Sagittarius, Expand. So in this deck there are the zodiac signs, there's planets, there's different celestial things. I like the artwork on these cards. I like the line work. I like the pops of color. I definitely need to use this more often. I wouldn't say I'm like extremely knowledgeable about astrology, but I do enjoy, I like looking at my horoscope. I like doing like my friends' birth charts and things like that. Now I am going to be showing you my small oracle decks, starting with the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. These are the backs of the cards, which I have always loved. Now these are like my ideal size. Easier to shuffle, easier to handle for me for sure. These are like a mix between matte and glossy. And obviously this deck is very nature and earth themed. I think this was like one of the first 5 oracle decks I had ever gotten. We have clouds, shape-shifting, lightning, power, love, compassion, rainbow, blessings. There's just a lot of really nice cards in this deck. Next up is the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Here are the backs. These are kind of like dreamlike to me. Like this is something that I would see in my dreams. This is what the cards look like. We have a message, an image, and a quote. So for example, we have break free, and then we have an image of a dolphin. Try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. So these cards are definitely good for if you are in need of some guidance on a certain situation. Let's say if you're like, should I transfer positions? Should I transfer jobs? You could shuffle this, and then let's say you pull consult an expert and more information is needed, contact someone with expertise in the area. It's kind of like an answer or guidance about specific questions that you have. Self-employment, alchemy, worthiness, you're being helped. Definitely an uplifting deck for sure. Here is the Magical Messages from the Fairies Oracle cards, also by Doreen Virtue. I really like these cards. Like I said in my last video where I did my tarot collection, I love fairies. I love everything to do with fairies. They're probably one of my favorite magical creatures. So I definitely use this deck a lot. Here are the backs of the cards. We have what appears to be a magic wand. And again, this is a deck that is used for guidance. So for example, we have do some research. You need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. Connect with nature. We have autumn, so there's seasons, there's suggestions like connect with nature, there's some affirmations, healing energy surrounds you in the situation. I say this is a pretty diverse deck that could be used for quite a few things. I just personally like using it for guidance when I have questions about certain situations. There are even some questions like whom do you need to forgive? Pregnancy, business venture. Definitely one of my top 5 most used decks. Here we have the Nature's Whispers Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall. Here are the backs of the cards. We have butterflies, and here are the cards. Definitely whimsical, dreamlike imagery. Highly detailed. So for the cards, we have an image, we have the number of the cards, and 1 or 2 words, maybe a sentence at the bottom. For example, we have assurance, seek beauty, catch your breath, you are worth it, and so on and so forth. Definitely very vibrant, colorful. This is a beautiful card, Acceptance of Love. How they're kind of being rooted into each other, growing together, becoming one. And we have the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Here are the backs of the cards. And each card has a quote-unquote life purpose at the top. Maybe a job, maybe something you should try out, something you should do, and then an explanation at the bottom. For example, we have yoga. Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. We have travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. Writing. You heal, inspire, teach, and entertain with the words you write. And so on and so forth. Obviously, this is meant to be used in a life purpose type of reading, like what should I do, you know, some guidance for the future and things like that. Am I in the right job? Is there something else that I should put my time into? But I just like using these just to see what comes up in regular readings. Here is the Sacred Self-Care Oracle by Jill Pyle with illustrations by Tatiana Vedenkina. This is another one of my highly used decks. These are the backs of the cards. They are matte, pretty decently big. I love the artwork of these cards. I think it's very cute. So this deck is pretty self-explanatory. It lists off things that you could do for acts of self-care, new things to try, create art, energy work, make a vision board, dream journal. Very cute, very lighthearted, very fun. It's fun to just pull a card every now and then and do something similar or what it says to do. Just a very positive energy, fun deck. Alright, we are down to the final 3 decks in this video. This is the Mists of Avalon Oracle by Rose and Sarah with illustrations by Nadia Turner. These are the backs of the cards, pretty glossy as you can see. And on these cards we have a green border, and then we have like a gold border on the inside, and then an image, the name of the card, and then 4 separate keywords. So for example, we have number 6, Camelot, and then we have honor, ideals, aspiration, and trust. We have Morgan Le Fay. I saw this in somebody else's YouTube video where it was like top 5 decks they couldn't live without, and I saw this and I definitely had to get this one, and I'm very glad that I did. I don't know why they are all facing separate directions, but that's okay. We have Lancelot, the Abbey, the Chalice Well, the Mist of Avalon, and so on and so forth. Our second to last deck is the Tea Leaf Fortune cards by Ray Hepburn and illustrated by Shauna Alexander. So this deck has the astro houses, the months of the year, and then a lot of the actual oracle cards. Something I really like using this deck for is year ahead spreads. So I will lay out the months of the year cards and then pull a handful of cards for each month and see what the year ahead is going to look like. So I'm just going to grab some of these cards out of this bag real quick and show you what the vibes are. So there's the name of the card, the image, and then the meaning. So we have the basket, recognition, reward for merit, the stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity, grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling, and the last one we will do is the bell, an announcement. So as you can see, it covers a wide range of events and topics. And our last deck in this video is the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle by Ciolo or Shiloh Thompson. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce some of these names. Here are the backs. They are pretty glossy, a pretty good size too, easy for me to handle. It does come with a guidebook that doubles as a field guide. And here are the cards. Similar to the Crystal Oracle deck that I showed earlier, I really like how it's just an image, or in this case, a drawing of the plant. And then we have the name, the scientific name, and then an oracle message to go with it. So for example, we have burdock, Arctium lapa, tenacity. We have clover, nurture, hollyhock, abundance, and a bunch more. Very much springtime vibes. So that completes part 1 of my oracle card collection. There will be a part 2 to this where I show you the rest of my collection. Definitely check out my tarot card collection video if you haven't already. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. Let me know down in the comments which deck in this video was your favorite. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for watching.